But this whole story, this whole thing about Posey Parker and about Albert Park has been about the right of a group of people to say what they think, and it was women who were silenced by an angry mob. And now we have a Prime Minister who cannot even adequately describe what a woman is. Have women been erased somehow in this politically correct culture world? So look, I thought we needed to get a woman and someone who was involved in this whole thing back on the program. Suzanne Levy from Speak Up for Women joins us now. Suzanne, nice to have you back on the platform. Welcome.
Oh, thanks, Sean. Thanks for having me back.
All right. First, can I ask you, what is a woman?
A woman is an adult human female.
Right. Okay. Geez, that was pretty straightforward. Why?
Yeah, it's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah. Why do you think Chris Hipkins couldn't answer that question?
First, I have to say that was one of the most hilarious things I've seen in a while. He couldn't answer it because he knows damn well that a woman is an adult human female, but he knew he'd be in deep shit if he said that.
Who from?
So, I guess from his advisory aides, from the rest of his party. Who knows? It's just, the way the government has put through so much policy that says a woman is whoever wants to be one or whoever says they are one. So they're a bit stuck.
Yeah.
So, so the policies change the definition so much that not the actual definition, obviously, but they're living in a parallel universe. Well,
but he kind of got into deep S anyway. I mean, that has been a global viral social media sensation. As Piers Morgan has said, his tweet of that thing has been viewed 5.2 million times.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, the surprising thing is he wasn't kind of aware that he maybe asked that question, because it's being asked, as you know, which is why, I guess why you asked it.
Well, I asked it because the people here on the platform asked me to ask it.
Yeah.
So
if he'd been paying any sort of attention, he would have been thinking, or someone would have been saying, hey, Chris, you'll probably get this one chucked at you at some stage, so this is what you should say. And that is what I would have expected. I would have expected a kind of ridiculous answer, but I would have expected him to have one.
Does his failure to answer in some ways erase the idea of a woman? Is it a retrograde step for women in New Zealand that our Prime Minister refuses to say what or who they are?
Oh, I think it's pretty worrying. It's very worrying. If you can't define a group, you can't legislate for them or protect them or meet their needs.
Yeah.
So it is really, really worrying. But I guess the more worrying thing is that what he's saying or not saying does reflect the policies and legislation that's gone through in the last few years.
Yeah. So
that's the issue, really. If he'd stood up and said a woman is an adult human female, then you could have said, well, he's actually a hypocrite, because every policy that's gone through has referred to, woman as, or not so much policies, but just general regulations and things refer to a woman as anyone who says they're one. So he's a bit screwed, really.
Yeah. Suzanne, what has been the response by women in your group and the wider response you've picked up in the last couple of days?
Everyone thought it was pretty amusing. I don't think anyone was surprised. I think they were surprised that he didn't know, that he wasn't aware that the question was coming, that he didn't have a better formulated answer. I think that was the kind of the most amusing part. There's nothing funny about him not being able to say.
And Suzanne, I'm still going to come back to what started all this. We still haven't had any meaningful police report. I don't know if anyone's been arrested after our part. There's been no reasonable explanation as to why the police left those women to get terrorised. And it seems to me the actual substantive stuff hasn't been addressed by the government.
No, no apology, no one's condemning that violence. I think people are putting in complaints to the Independent Police Complaints Authority, and that's not something that's going to come up overnight. That's a bit of a slow process. And it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. And
now, I'd also note that the mainstream media in New Zealand tried to willfully ignore that question, and indeed the Prime Minister's non-answer to it. For about 18 hours, they just said nothing, and it was all about me getting kicked off Twitter. And I think they then finally had to cover it, but they didn't cover it by covering the Prime Minister's failure to answer. It was all, why was the question asked? And they never asked me who asked the question. They said it's all part of a conspiracy to weaponise the question. It was crazy. What do you say to the mainstream media, and what do you think of their response to this issue?
Well, it's the same thing. Are they not watching what's been going on? Why isn't one of them asking it? Why it's been asked all over the world.
Yeah.
For a while, and it speaks volumes that none of them would stand up and say it over the past, especially over the past couple of weeks. Yeah.
You went on Mariah, right?
I did, yeah.
How did you find that experience as a woman and as a person? I haven't, I'll be honest, I had a chance to see anything but highlights from it yet. Was it? Did you feel did you feel you were getting fairly treated?
No. I mean, it was difficult. I was on Zoom and the others were in the studio. I think they could have balanced it out.
And who was the moderator for that? Was that Scotty Morrison?
It was, yeah.
Okay, Scotty Morrison, the same guy who emceed on television the Kiwi Bank Awards that gave Chanel Lal Young New Zealander of the Year, right? Yeah, no, that's true. And so how could he have been impartial? And everything beforehand. Suzanne, how could he have been impartial? Oh well, he wasn't impartial. He was. It was like three. It felt like 3 against 1. And I mean, I was allowed to be referred to as a turf. That referred to the group as I think right wing conservative, which is just not true. And I didn't really have right of reply. I got a few points across, but it was pretty scrappy. And what came out of it is that they all seemed to just agree that the mob rule that took over on Saturday at Albert Park was okay.
That was absolutely fine. Yeah, they were all good with that. That the High Court decision was wrong.
Oh God, they didn't have the balls to invite. They didn't have the balls to invite me on. I cannot actually believe, Suzanne, just how amongst mainstream media, how just one-sided and infantile the response has been to what was such a concerning event at Albert Park. Oh, it's been pretty bad, and there's been the odd article that's had the odd sort of truthful slant to it. Yeah. But no, it's been pretty disappointing. But we've had so much support from people. Yeah. It's been really good. We've had loads and loads of emails, and of people wanting to get involved, wanting to help. So in a strange way, I mean, I'm sure Chanel Lal, he sounded very happy. It sounded like he was partying when I talked to him last night. In some ways, they've handed you guys the victory. It's been a free speech. Being able to get the issue out there was the goal. Then we've won. Yeah. Obviously, there's been a cost to that, and it hasn't been pleasant. It's been very stressful and horrible for people, and they've been injured. It's been really, really traumatic. Have those women who were injured and traumatised, has there been any follow-up from victim support or police to see that they're okay? Have they been interviewed as part of criminal investigations or not? I'm not 100% sure there have been some things going on with that. Yeah. Yeah. But I can't really talk about that. But there's definitely some stuff going on. That's good. That's something, Suzanne.
Yeah.
All right, what should I ask the Prime Minister next? What is a man?
Yeah, ask him what a man is. Yeah, I think.
Suzanne, I thank you very much indeed for your time and for joining us.
Thanks, Sean.
Take it easy. That is Suzanne Levy from Speak Up for Women.